Wow, and it's the lower bracket first round game. We've got OG.Seed versus Team Liquid, and here is the draft with OG.Seed opening up with a respect ban on that Slardar. How do we feel about these teams, guys?
That Slardar? Those are the wrong bands. There we go.
Yeah.
Chen Slardar.
Chen.
Did you think Chen was bad? Is that... Maybe it was wrong. I don't know. Chen is, I think, understandably banned. It can create a nice, like, tempo. It's pretty decent laning stage. You get mech stupidly fast, and then it'll help you move around, take towers. So getting it out of the game is pretty reasonable. I think it's decently strong right now, especially with the right team. Slardar, very strong laning hero. It's a boxy specialty as well. He's been playing the hero even before it got kind of busted, so not too surprised about that as well. Timbersaw, a very strong laning hero. Puck is really annoying, takes a lot of mobility options out of the game. When I heard them making a comment, Insania, when he's walking upstairs, he asked Madar, he's like, so who do you want to lane against? And he started naming really annoying heroes, one of which was Viper. He ends up banning it instead. Just trying to get in his opponent's head right there.
Yeah. I was curious if Liquid, how they were going to be playing this, obviously, earlier today, going with what some considered more of the meme kind of build up with the Team Green, Viper, Necro, and Venomancer, but I imagine they'll be taking this one a bit more seriously, wanting to kind of stay alive and fight forward to take EG on in the next round, and we'll have to see what they're going to pull out with as their #1 grab.
I know Blitz cornered them all to give them a team talk, so there's definite...
Before he left? Is Blitz still around?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
I mean, he probably does that every time, right? Surely.
He's like, all right, guys, just go out there and give it what you got.
I
got a steak
chicken,
dinner
guys.
to get to, so see you later.
Win me some, pay for my dinner, please, if you win. Thank you.
I'll meet you after. But here we go, right out of the gate, the 3 picks, Rubik, AA, and Void Spirit.
So like Insania mentioned before about the Rubik, he said that like Rubik and Earthshaker are kind of like the pick flips. He's like, if you pick Rubik, then you can steal Earthshaker's good abilities. But OG.Seed just doesn't end up picking Earthshaker. They go for an A. Obviously, if you steal Ice Blast, that's very good. But the other spells can be a bit weak. And Void Spirit in some ways kind of similar. Like all of his spells work really well together in conjunction. But if you steal one of those, it might not be as effective. So
What are you talking about? Rubik with Ice Vortex? Compared with his null field? That's like double minus magic reduction, right?
Well, you get Spell Amp from yours, and then yes, if you can Vortex as well, but you still, what are you going to do, Fade Bolt for like 600
Oh, you let your teammates do all the burst. I'm just saying, you set them up.
Look, I'm just saying that stealing Ice Vortex is not like the best thing ever. Fissure's better, Ice Blast is better.
Long range stun or slow that they can walk out of.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the other options yet that are available. I'm saying if he's stuck with it,
What if
you
he's
got to
got
work
an
with what you got.
axe? Okay, he's got an axe. He steals the Ice Vortex, lays it down, and then steals the Lion Finger coming out here.
Okay.
Right?
Now I'm on his page.
So OG.Seed, what's happening here is they have to be very careful of picking any high magic burst heroes because Rubik can steal both of those abilities. This is a deny pick Rubik.
That's a really good point,
Yeah,
but
you got to think 5-dimensional.
You kind of want burst, though. If you got Ice Blast, right? You want to get him down that threshold a bit faster.
There you go. They lost the draft, and they want burst, but they're giving it to Rubik, so...
They're building a lot of physical burst with the Void Spirit and now the Pango.
True.
That is a lot of physical damage. I don't know about Mars this early. I know Liquid just loves having AoE stuff that they plop down on the ground. Will they do the Willow with it? We have seen them do 5-position Rubik, so Willow Mars is a Liquid special for sure.
Surely you don't Willow against Pango. I feel like it's just like a super hard counter. He just rolls or jumps away or...
Insania's kind of said they just do their own thing, right? So maybe, even though it doesn't seem the best on paper, they'll just do it anyway.
I mean, Mars, isn't Mars like creating the perfect basketball hoop for AA? Like, hey, we're going to be here, by the way. And you're like, okay, sure, I'll shoot the 3. And he just pops the Ice Blast right into the, the Rumble.
That's not necessarily wrong. It's more like you want to ulti the enemy team in the Rumble. It's kind of like clockwork hogging the enemy team. You're usually not going to have your allies there as well. But you'll definitely blast Mars really easy, absolutely.
For sure.
But he's got so much HP and usually buys a lot of resistance items, so he doesn't care as much about that. You usually want to hit like your 1 and 2 position with Ice Blast or a clump of supports as well to burst them down quick.
Fair enough.
Snapfire's still in the pool, surprisingly.
I think...
Well, and the Bat
Oh my
Rider
gosh,
is the
and
big
Bat
one
Rider.
that's slipped through, both Snapfire and Bat Rider.
Bat Rider very good against AA.
That Taiga Bat Rider yesterday was pretty awesome. Very annoying. all over the place. A nuisance. Did get picked off, I think, a time or two in the laning phase, but he made them sweat for it, pulled them way out of position, let the core have that breathing room to at least make the most out of the laning phase. And then eventually when the items started coming together, he was just incredibly proactive.
I'd like to see a save against this bat. You think of a bat in Legion. Legion's a little bit rough against Mars because usually if you like duel somebody, the Mars just blinks on top of you and arenas around you and then spears you because you're stunned. And then you don't want to duel the Mars because of his passive where you're hitting each other from the front. But at the same time, you want initiation for the AAL. So I'm kind of just listing off things they could be thinking about going into this pick. I don't think you want to give them this Bat Rider third pick without addressing its lasso at all. I think you do need to have a save. It makes the game way easier, and it also makes your last pick more versatile because it can be saved from the lasso, so you don't have to pick a hero that's too scared of getting lassoed. You could also just pick PL because it's super good against Mars and Bat Rider. That's like the other option, but
yeah, I feel like any of those big save spells are also good options for Rubik. If you are caring a lot about what you're going to hand over the Rubik, you do have to factor that in as well, because all those great save spells are Rubik's like, oh great, I know it's coming. I'll just take it for myself.
better version of the same spell.
Yep. We'll see what it could be, though.
They go Abaddon. Okay.
Nice, yeah.
Does that push the Pango into a 4 position?
Almost certainly. I don't think they're doing a support Abaddon here. That just seems... If you have, like, AA Abaddon supports, then you just have the most do-nothing support duo in the history of Dota. Usually you want AA to be paired with some sort of aggressive hero in the 4 position. And suddenly... I don't know how OG.Seed fights in them. I do think Liquid has to ban PL. I think PL's by far OG.Seed's best carry pick here.
It's good against Bat Rider and it drains Medusa, right?
Yeah, and Mars can only Mars can only spear one target. The spear hits everything in terms of damage, but it only spears one thing. So PL never dies to Mars.
But it does it'll spear an illusion, I assume, right?
Well, yeah, I'm saying it'll hit. The thing that'll get speared into the wall itself is the first illusion.
Whoever's closest to Mars.
Yeah.
So if he just runs with one illusion in front of himself,
yeah,
like, that will
Mars,
just tank the spear.
Yeah, exactly. He still gets the 300 damage, but obviously it's not very good to just take 300 damage.
The other really nice thing is that Seed's lineup is like very burst damage heavy. Obviously excluding Abaddon, but like Void Spirit, Pango A, they're going to want to jump and kill one guy. Deuce has got so much tankiness, she can easily survive that burst and then pop ulti and run down the opponents. And Stone Gate should work against Pango roll as well, right?
Yes, it does.
So counts as looking at him. So
very nice. It just like shuts down the game plan, I think, of OG.Seed so far. Medusa should have a good lane. They could potentially pick something like Razor in the mid lane and just move Void Spirit to carry, but then you're playing like Razor into Bat Rider. So a lot of the heroes that are good against Medusa, not so good against the Bat Rider and Mars combo. I really am leaning towards OG.Seed picking PL here if it does not get banned. I think they just can choose to kind of ignore the Medusa and then kind of kill her team with these like elusive heroes and kill her last. So,
do you think that Liquid will ban the PL?
It's either PL or Slark that they ban. I'm 95% sure that's one of their 2 bans here, unless they really think they're going to rotate the Void Spirit to carry, in which case Razor would be the ban. But Insania and I seem to have a different idea of drafting. So he always talks about color coordination, and then I finally start talking about it, and then he shuts me down for being an idiot in a serious game. What can you do, you know?
Well, his team isn't very color coordinated this time.
Yeah,
so
not at all.
Must be the most serious. We know they're taking it seriously now.
Try hard pants, engaged.
Well, I got to say, though, I was acknowledging just that little bit about Mars before, but I feel like with Bat Rider and Medusa, it does feel like they have to kind of stay close together. And that's where AA can really shine.
This
but
is a nice Slark game, dude.
So their initiation, other than like Bat Rider ulti or Rubik Lift, was pretty counterable by spin stuff. And if they wanted Ember Spirit, it would have been excellent against it. So
this is a juicy Slark game.
Why do you think they banned the Jug? That didn't come up for you at all.
Jug's nice against Ember, but I actually thought that matchup was bad against Medusa. But maybe like this whole Mask of Madness Diffusal Jug that people have been doing, it would be good against Medusa. That's the only thing I can imagine. Jug has been itemized a bit different recently, and I also know Madara plays a lot of Jug, actually. I've seen them play more Jug than any other team here, I think.
So are you still on the PL bandwagon for this one, or you were just saying Slark a
I
bit?
saw Slark or Peel were the two heroes that really stood out to me, and between the two of those, Slark is way better against Ember than Peel.
Is Troll garbage here?
Oh, maybe.
He could. He's a man.
Troll
He's a
against Battle
fighter,
Rider
you
seems
know?
it's rough against Bat, but since you have the Abaddon, you can make it work. That is the thing about Abaddon. Heroes like Troll that otherwise wouldn't be pickable are now pickable because you have the Abaddon.
Doesn't Troll just get destroyed by Dusa too?
Oh, Spectre.
Oh. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Lady Spectre. She's made a couple appearances.
Wow,
so
really
far.
didn't want Slark. Is Slark just unpickable or something?
I mean, he can buy a Diffusal on spec as well if they want to deal with Dusa. It's going to give them way better team fights, which is kind of something they're lacking a bit right now, outside of like Pango Roll and Void Spirit being obnoxious. That's about it. They kind of need somebody frontline as well.
The
Like, who else
color
is gonna
scheme
go
is
in?
much better too.
That's a really good point. It looks a lot prettier.
Well, we're going to go to a quick 1-minute break. It's two of the hardest carries in Dota against each other. We'll be right back. And we're straight back in. The team's tipping already. There's a lot of friendliness between these two teams, I know, but I think this is going to be a great competition.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Our final series of today, and then it's just 2 series left going on tomorrow, the lower bracket final, and then the best of 5 grand final, and then I don't know when we're going to be seeing LAN Dota again, so let's all enjoy it while we can.
I'm kind of curious how they deal with a Bat Rider in the lane, right? Because it's Spectre and AA. It looks like they're gearing up to potentially tri-lane to cover the spec, but normally like a spec A sounds like the worst possible matchup you could have against Bat.
Agreed. They are pretty scary with the slows, though. You have the AA who can either take the Cold Feet or the third spell. You have the Orb of Venom on the Swash. You have the Dagger. It all kind of adds up. So Bat Rider level 1 I don't think is potent enough to be a threat with just Sticky if you have 3 heroes. So like you said, I think that's going to be their approach. Medusa safe lane. I personally have heard the rumors of this like rapier at 25 minutes into the game, but I don't know too much about her lane matchups or anything like
What?
that.
Is that a pub rumor? Is that like
No,
some of
teams
these
are actually
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah,
Really now?
yeah, where you just get like first Roshan in a rapier with like Manta, and you just hit for 600 damage.
And
with
then is it try to close
yeah,
as
pretty
soon as
much just
possible?
End the, yeah,
Okay,
just
all
end the
right.
game. Yeah, pretty much is what they're doing.
Cool.
Because Medusa's issue is eventually you just try to kite her around the map so that she never has to fight you, or that you never have to fight her. Excuse me. So like the way that they've been solving that problem on Medusa is just to force them to fight you so early in the game that they aren't strong enough to split push you yet.
Yep. And her ulti got buffed a bunch. It gives her like 40% extra movement speed
It's
or
50
something.
now.
50? Okay.
Yeah, it went from like
Whoa.
20 to 30 to 40 to 50.
Dang, that snake can slither.
How do you feel about the matchup against the Spectre?
I'm surprised that they picked Spectre. You want some chaos. That's like why I thought Slark was good too. But Spectre just comes online a bit slower than these other carries. They're going to have to go for this mid-game timing. It's a matter of whether or not the Spectre can keep up with the pace of Medusa, because Medusa will innately farm much faster, especially since both carries are kind of getting the babysitting treatment right now.
Is this going to be a particularly important laning stage then, more than others?
I think so. I think it's really going to come down to the mid lane, though, just because both side lanes for both teams, you have an Abaddon Spectre core, and you have Medusa Mars, which Mars is getting tri-laned, and Medusa is pretty much a do-nothing hero. So whatever spirit has more mid-game impact, I think will be super important.
Ooh, bottom low. It is going to be Badara picking up the first
it's
blood,
just the good old
grabs
3
boxing,
heroes.
and throws a coin at him. Like, yeah, you like that? Welcome to game 1.
That's probably exactly what he sounded like, too.
Yeah, I love the tipping. The mind games, right?
How would you feel if you could record a voice message that went out with every tip that you did?
Oh my god, that'd be funny. They just
Oh.
do a quick recording right there.
I would need a
patch it
lot
out.
of people to do that. It's bad enough when it's Dota heroes.
I do like this for OG.Seed, though. They know that Boxy's a real momentum-based offlaner player, so just shutting him down early like this, I think you'd much rather have him be sacrificed as well as your own offlaner in a matchup versus Liquid specifically.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you have a Spectre in it. It feels so justified. It's a hero that's like kind of weak laning, but if you get her on a good path, it can be incredibly good. So, whatever. Let Abaddon have a kind of mediocre game. Worst case, he pushes out lanes later, or he sits around and waits to cover spec and help keep her alive.
He's still got 6 CS as opposed to the 1 of Mars
Yeah.
on Abaddon, so that's...
Look at this.
He's been able to pull creeps though. Like like Boxy's against 2 supports, whereas the Abandon's against a solo support. So it's not quite the same.
It's usually how you judge whether or not it's a good idea to tri-lane. You have to be like, will my guy do better against 2 heroes than theirs will do against 3? And if the answer is yes, you can tri-lane, and that's what OG.Seed has come to here as the conclusion. I like their choice here.
There's that Taiga
Only level
nuisance
1
I
on
was talking
Tango.
about. They're going to pull all the attention towards him.
Oh, if he was level 2, he probably would have killed him here, so maybe it just doesn't matter.
And Boxy's going to be getting the
That's a lot
space
of
he
damage.
wants. Is he going to find a way out of this one?
They have no stuns, so you can just TP out at any point if he has to. Yeah, he does.
Stacks it up. It'll end up pushing a little bit better. We'll see if they can. It looks like small camp's blocked, so I don't think it'll be able to pull. So yeah, he'll be able to get this experience eventually.
Is that a visual bug, or is that bounty rune in the dire bottom still there? Oh,
What?
wow.
That is money that's going to be wasted.
Somebody might get that, 5-minute special where you walk to the rune 2 seconds earlier. You're like, oh my god, there's one heroes already.
Thank goodness Blitz is at that steak dinner and can't see this. Otherwise, he'd probably have a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But we see the Spectre trying to crawl back here. 20 and 14
Only pulls one creep.
right
That's pretty
now.
funny.
But yeah, that awkwardness on the side. AA's trying to make the most of what turned into that double push. Bad
Good
hanging
rotation
out
by
really
Z-Freak
low.
now. Doing a lot of damage to
Ooh.
Mika here.
Yeah, I don't have too many memories of Z-Freak playing a lot of Pango, but he was always on these kind of flashy 4-position type of supports. I usually recall him being more so the Rubik, but his Pango game seems pretty nice early on. Very annoying.
Yeah, he's doing good.
There he goes again.
How do you pronounce Zibei's name? Is it
Zibe?
Zibei? Is that it?
That's what I hear. I don't know.
Sounds good to
Just do
me.
your best. That's the
Your
caster
guess
life.
is as good as mine, sir.
Oh, I hate having to go for those range creeps and you get slapped like 4 more times. with
I like
that.
how you acted like we might know more than you do about this.
You might do.
We respect
He
you on
just,
that one.
he just kind of assumed.
We
He's
appreciate
like,
you giving us more credit than we deserve.
"Oh, you guys have been in the scene for literally 6 years. You know what this guy's name? Nope.
Nope. I don't talk to him. I just cast.
He did get the double bounty on Quakefa,
Oh, nice.
the value.
That's nice.
Did he have a bottle though?
Yeah,
That's
he
the real-
did. He did
oh,
have a
shit.
bottle, so he got effectively 6 bottles for himself.
downtown.
We call that a Kobe.
Snipes
Batman.
it. And Liquid will.
Ooh, I like the quad ironwood branch. This is very very inexpensive.
He's 6 slotted.
He is, but a lot of stats.
Oh.
Zibe.
Zibe.
Zibei.
Zibe. We got the
That's
official word.
That's
Official
basically what
word
I said.
from-
I think.
Zababe. Am I right?
Oh, babe.
All right, snowballs out bottom lane, Boxy. A little bit of harassment, but it's proper, more so proper 2-on-2 this go around.
Oh, God, he has to put one of those value stats in his backpack.
I know. Can't eat it. That's not worth it. Those things are valuable to hold. I do the same thing. Pretty early Blightstone picked up by Ember Spirit. Interesting. Just to make the Sleight of Fist go a little bit farther, I guess.
Looks like he'll go for the solar build because he has Medusa on his
Ooh,
team.
Z-Freak there waiting for you, trying to go for the rune, and it's going to force the Remnant out in Quakefa.
Doesn't mean he's got an empty bottle, though.
Mm.
He's going to be thirsty for the next couple of minutes.
Poor guy can't cast his spells all the time. How will he survive?
He's not particularly hurting. I think he'll be all right.
Here we go. Z-Freak crosses from mid to bottom lane now to get on some action here.
Wow, slows
Taiga.
against Batrider.
That's 2 straight takedowns of Taiga now. And Spectre gets it again. And in the meantime, we see Jibbe get takes down Asania.
Nice rotation from Void Spirit. Like I said, they only do stuff heroes on both teams are the mid laners. And bottom lane, I think he just needs to be a bit more careful on Tiger because they have a lot of slows. And Quakefa is punishing Chessie for utilizing all of his mana top. Does dodge
Ooh,
the
good
remnant
choice.
from Quakefa.
ZC. Oh, he does know.
But he gets him. And Mars, meanwhile, getting the brutality that he's been receiving all game. He probably died because he had that branch in his backpack. What do you think, Purge?
It looks like he ate it.
Oh,
he turned it into a wand.
no.
So smart.
Oh my God! Got to open up those slots for those other branches.
I mean, yeah, he needs another one now. So eat the tango. Throw that trash away. Oh, he's desperate. That's a bad sign. You TP to lane at 7 minutes. You got no teleports left. It's not good.
Oh my god, that's only happened to me a few times. So whenever it happens, you're like, wait a minute, I'm so used to having TPs. How have I died 3 times already?
It's like, oh, evidence that I'm playing terribly. Shit.
I probably kept adding TPs just so this wouldn't be a problem.
It happens so rarely that when it does happen, you're just mentally not thinking about
Usually,
it. At all.
Not
you're
rare for me,
replenishing
but,
TPs in the mid game or something. You're like, I have to actually buy more, but Costco's out. Oh well.
You're left behind, man. Quakefell looks like he's kind of dominating the lane now, but I guess this is one solution against Void Spirit. Is that who cares if you block physical damage? He can just stand near you and you'll die faster. And he pushes the lane in the same vein. And he's only got 2 points in the damn thing too. So it doesn't even have that much magic absorb, but I would assume how much does Resonant Pulse do?
It's 220 at max level actually.
So he could actually could shred it.
Yeah, it does
just
exact
doesn't know.
amount of damage.
He doesn't know. Maybe he thinks it's a waste.
Jesse doesn't know, I believe is the name of the song.
Jesse doesn't know.
Oh, that is a very dead courier.
It's a content piece for the next summit.
Noted.
No
saw the
spoilers.
Trusty shovel picked up on your
Boxy is,
but trouble top lane for Boxy. Tried to head north to the prosperous, safe top lane, but he finds out quickly it's not safe at all. Quickly surrounded within the trees, he gets finished off. But we have rotations coming in, and we got a Spectre ult. Daggers out. Quakefa thinking about bouncing, not before getting out a slight. The jump in from Chessie, looking to go for some revenge from the mid lane. But the remnant's there. It's moving away slowly, but it gets its distance. Quakefa will be fine. But they'll take the tower.
And now Madara, if he wanted to, he could TP bottom. He's a little bit low.
I think if they can salve up
Maybe
Zide somehow.
Give him an Ironwood branch, and then take. Oh wait, it's other team.
They're going to take the outpost. I think it should be the Abaddon that goes bottom. Spectre can start taking the safe farm top, and you can put the Abaddon against the support Batrider in the dangerous lane. All he needs is to salve up or something. Yeah, he's going to TP. Okay.
Madara seems to be going Manta first. How do you feel about that? Is it a Radiance game at all?
You kind of need it against Slight. Chains is a big thing. It's decent against Bat. If somebody does get disabled and you can like haunt Manta on them, it's a ton of damage depending on if you good enough Desolate.
Ooh, Insania turns the corner, but not going to make it away from old Chessie.
I think he has to go Diffusal against Medusa. I don't know if they have any other way to deal with it. Maybe Pango's going to go Diffusal eventually, but he's a support. He's got nothing.
The old Abaddon Diffusal.
Oh,
Here we go. Lasso, pull up, and quick execution.
Manta
there.
on Abaddon is not bad because the illusions give you the curse. So you just go Manta Diffusal on Abaddon.
Okay.
There you go. On your off lane Abaddon. I'm not serious, guys. In case that, you know.
Or anyone that's in your MMR bracket would get your joke. No worries.
The 2K broken?
Yeah. Your games will not be affected. Oh no, the boots get delivered, but the wrong
My
slot.
games will not be affected. That's funny.
Yules, I was wondering if they're going to do this actually, because if you look at their lineup, they have pretty crappy initiators, and you usually want to have like a stun setup so that A can get an easy ice blast. So if they go fast Yules on the Void Man, then you can do the Yules and a stun, easy combos.
Void Man. I like that name better.
That is better.
I'm Void Man. Well, that's it. I'm changing my name to Storm Man. Earth guy.
Ember Spirit seems like the sort of guy who'd be like, I'm sticking with Spirit.
Yeah, we know, dude.
That's what we had before.
Smoke here. Looks like
There's
on
just
the
a
move.
Batrider behind them, and they're like, oh, hi.
Oh. Well, they make the
They
jump
were
in.
smoked looking for somebody else, and they just immediately turn around. What the hell is this guy doing here?
The old Taiga. He's been knocked down a couple times. I don't know when we're going to be seeing any sort of blinking Batriders here in the near future, but for now he's trying to create the space so that the rest of his team can flourish as best as possible. Medusa is hanging top net worth for now. Here we see some shenanigans in the mid lane.
What's the Medusa building? Is she going
Manta,
Rapier?
I believe. Yeah,
Manta.
Manta. I believe it's Manta, maybe one other item, and then Rapier.
Yep. Like your illusions push really, really well on side lanes. Like God forbid you even get like an illusion escape or something, but so like your illusions aren't great against heroes, but like just push outside creep waves is just amazing.
Yeah, because they get split shot, but they don't get your shield, so they just die really easily.
But it's fine. I mean, they've got a lot of agility because you buy a lot, so it's like they attack 4 creeps and You just sit there behind a creep wave and you blast waves.
What's Medusa's intelligence growth? Can we mouse over Medusa?
I think it's her highest stat, actually.
How schmod is this girl?
4.0.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Medusa used to have shit stat gains.
I mean, they nerfed the crap out of the strength one. but
Yeah.
It's like 1 point something, 1.5. It's pretty.
You know,
pretty
that's fine.
garbage,
You just
but-
have int to defend yourself now.
Yep.
Is that the second highest? Pugna's is 4.5. isn't
Pugna
it?
is now sitting at 5. A nice
5.
round 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's buff.
Somebody else has got to be over her for sure, like Sky or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Lesh.
She's definitely the highest int growth of any agility hero. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Top lane.
Thought he was gonna go for that last creep there, but he ended up backing.
He has no dagger though.
Yeah, it has
oh,
haunt.
ulti to safety.
Yeah.
Oh, the jukes!
Where am I going? You don't know.
Does it?
I'm right back in the same spot.
Oh,
Maybe you do know. No.
Wait, he's still alive.
It's working so far.
No way. Okay, he's dead.
The nerf to flame break.
Oh,
The
he
nerf
lived.
to flame break.
9 HP.
Oh my goodness.
I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever
Oh
seen, but it worked. It freaking worked.
I don't think
I was
that
like,
the
what is this
intention.
crap?
And the tip.
That's what we call the 5-head Spectre play right there. You just never expect it to work.
I'm just gonna hit the button, see where I land.
It was like the whole time I'm like, he's still taking damage. He's still taking damage. They still know he's there, and then all of a sudden,
If he doesn't know where he is, they can't know either.
just got to outlast the flame break, I guess.
He didn't even avoid the lasso. He's still got lasso
Yeah.
despite all of it, which is why I assume
Yeah.
he was dodging, but then he didn't die. So
Yeah.
He just bought enough team for his team to show.
Yeah,
or
that's
time for
exactly.
his team
He's
to show.
stalling them so the team can get there.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So his net worth is still not close to Medusa's, and it probably won't be for a very long time. Here's the combo. Is it long enough? Yes. Oh, yeah. One more slap. Two more slaps. Okay.
Okay. Very nice.
Yep, that's the combo. He didn't get too many points in his astral ability, so the stun duration wasn't super long, but it was long enough to get the secure the kill. Worked out.
Jesse already dominating. I thought I just saw him, picked off in the mid lane not long ago. He's already able to string together 4 kills for himself and could make it 5 here as he sets up another Yules. And with the roll through, they're successful. Jubei, who's going to be picking up the grab.
And this is basically what's going to happen for the next 10 to 20 minutes, basically. It's like Void Spirit's going to set people up with the Yules. They're going to do combos on them as much as it takes, and Spectre's hopefully going to hit creeps. And yes, the Medusa's going to farm faster than the Spectre will, but Spectre's going to do way more in team fights than Medusa will. Unless she gets like a crazy good ult.
Is there then extra pressure on the Ember to kind of show up as a number 2? Because if they put everything on the Medusa, I feel like then they kind of know what they're in store for, and then they could just game plan around that.
They potentially can, but they don't. Until they get like a diffusal blade, they don't necessarily have like really good solutions against her. I don't think Abaddon is particularly incredible against her. Like even Pango is gonna get right clicked for a lot.
Okay, here we go. Another setup.
A little too slow. Oh, did it hit him?
I don't know.
It did, but he has no flame guard actually.
But
it's only like level 1 Ice Blast.
I'd have
It's
to
not
get
gonna
down to
be
like
enough.
120 HP. He'll be fine.
Dude, they've buffed 5 splash so many times now.
Yeah, they have. Lasts a long time. I mean, he lost his GPM talent. It's pretty rough.
And unless you have setups like that, it's not super easy to hit.
Yep.
Nice tower taking. It's really important to take that tower against Medusa. Oftentimes very difficult because she just plants herself in front of the tower and you can't walk into it. But because they bullied the Ember Spirit away with that initial gank attempt, they were able to take that tower. Pretty important there. Spectre may not out-carry Medusa one-on-one, but I think in this particular game, like the support crew for OG.Seed is much better than it is for Liquid in regards to enabling the Spectre to outscale the Medusa. So I really do think it's going to come down to this Medusa getting like that Hurricane Pike plus Rapier and then just ending the game.
Can that change over time, though? Let's say that we're not seeing too many skirmishes. I mean, I say that skirmish is kind of happening now. Can Liquid support staff build up to a point when they can better be around the Medusa, or is it require OG.Seed to keep pressuring Liquid to keep him in check?
The issue is that Medusa, unlike Spectre, doesn't help her team at all in these types of scenarios. So the reason why I don't think their heroes like scale poorly, it's just that their heroes are forced to fend for themselves without the Medusa.
Oh.
And so all of them are getting picked on like this. Like bottom lane, they're getting picked on a bit. I think this is good for them though, that OG.Seed uses this haunt and gets nothing out of it.
Yeah.
So Team Liquid is perfectly fine with this. I'm just concerned not because their heroes suck, but just it's not a surprise when you look at the net worths that Ember has really fallen off compared to the Void Spirit, because the Spectre is not really taking a lot of farm from the Void Spirit, while the Medusa is just soaking up so much on the map.
Yeah.
And you just avoid Medusa. That's all you do is ignore her. So she has to build to be unignorable. Whether or not the Rapier's coming out, we'll have to see.
You'll set up again onto the Ember.
That's
no, sorry, the Mars.
I thought it was
Or
the Ember
Mars.
too, but then I was like, wait a minute, the Ember doesn't have a shield.
Freaking fiery weapons. But you're right. So that's Boxy going down. But that's trouble because it's not like Liquid are seeking these opportunities. It's OG.Seed non-stop. Yules is up. Ice Blast is up. Let's see what we can get. Is it up again? Let's see what we can find. And sure, this Medusa will try to be the dark horse for the team, but what's gonna be left around her? Not much.
What's Pango got queued up after the Javelin? Nothing so far. Okay.
I think he's done really good considering. Pretty happy with Z-Freak's play.
Will he finish that Mjolnir, or is he going to go for...
Definitely not Mjolnir, but Maelstrom, very, very likely, yeah.
Sorry, Maelstrom is what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he goes Diffusal.
That's a good
Either
idea.
goes Diffusal or like Mech or something. But I think since you have a bat and you don't go any defensive items on Pango, you just go for the sheer damage utility build.
The Spectre is going for a Diffusal, but I guess 2 doesn't hurt.
Yeah, as many as you want is fine, because the mana drain against Deuce is like a massive amount of damage. It's equivalent to like, I don't know, 4 times the damage, more or less. So if you mana drain 40, it's like doing 200 a hit with those 40. So it's pretty powerful. But
Quick maths.
Z-Freak has been hanging around with low life this whole time, just hoping to find setup, and here it is.
He's
Yules,
the
Ice
follow. Oh, the
Blast,
shield,
roll.
but I don't think he was ready to get shielded by his Rubik there. I don't think. I think he could have been spamming his ultimate on Ember, and he would have gotten out there. But he
Now
was
they're
not
going to get
ready.
+1 because of it. Jesse scores the double.
I
Oh,
have to imagine Insania was communicating, "I'm behind you with shield," but he definitely had time to do something there, and he did not.
The power of this Medusa farm is they're 12 kills ahead, and gold is pretty much even.
that's
Okay.
scary, I think, when it's all on one hero like that,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
have
not a
some,
huge fan of that.
you have like natural diffusal carriers. I don't
That's
know.
why I was wanting the Diffusal, because it's all on one hero, right? So you just itemize purely against the Medusa.
Okay, yeah.
here we go. Haunts out.
I want a free kill.
Opportunity to get another jump onto this Mars. Boxy, it's been a struggle this game. It's not going to get any easier. Madara scores the double on this one. Chessie just got a double. Now it's Madara's turn. And the rich get richer. 17-3.
I wasn't a big believer in Spectre, but because of the way both Spectre and Medusa want to play, passively farming the map, but one of them helps the team and the other one does not, Spectre seems to be really powerful here, because you don't have to have too much impact to have more impact than the Medusa.
Yep.
And is that 5-0-4 on Spectre? Is that what he is? Yeah, that's the dream Spectre game so
All
far.
right, here we go. Liquid, can they make some action happen? Or is this quickly going to 180? They
Man,
decided
they're
to
so
double
scared.
back. Yeah, it's
Just look at the net worth of their 4 heroes that aren't the Medusa.
Medusa and then everybody else. Jesse confidently
Oh.
moving forward.
Can you last one time?
So
that's
that's
hard.
Yules looking for the spot. It's straight behind. Jump back. AA's there. Sets him up with the Ice Blast, and that's enough for Liquid to pump the brakes a bit.
Feels like OG.Seed are only ever advancing when the Spectre has ultra. They're absorbing damage, well, not absorbing much because Liquid aren't really pushing, but they're just farming and then moving when the ult was up. Pretty much on cooldown.
Liquid are all together here. They're doing a bit of a slow siege through to this mid lane. Getting some good shots here onto the Abad and forcing him back. Medusa looking to go right to the tower here. Chessie waiting in the wings. Shove back here. And it could be Mars in a bit of hurt. Can he even get the arena off? Oh, goes for it, but it does drop shortly thereafter. Meanwhile, Jib getting back into the fray here. Has to back out once again. And now it's Liquid members trying to retreat to the other side. And Ice Blast, the second one now, catches him on the way back. Chessie looking to go in and try to be the janitor on this one. And they are just running them down. Liquid members falling left and right. One remains. It's Koikfa here, and he is trying to dash himself back inside.
Oh, are they going to go
OG.
for this?
Dive.
Oh,
Nah.
look like they might.
Uh,
They're out of spells.
let him know that they're watching him all the way back home, and he'll be the one to tell the story of OG.Seed.
That was like a captain call. The 2 cores were like, we're going to dive this, and Pexy's, please. Please do not.
Take the tower, please. Damage the tower.
So earlier when we saw the Clockwork pick for Fnatic, the response from EG was to just pick a hero that will get what it gets out of the lane and then prioritize the other cores. I think the problem with this Medusa pick is that OG.Seed could just tri-lane the Spectre and the Abaddon still had a game because the Medusa as a safe laner just doesn't do anything to the Abaddon. So what happened here in this game is even though Medusa's so farmed, your Mars is a creep. Like he doesn't do anything. He's 4,800 net worth on a core Mars with a hood. Like I can just yeah, no Mars, no offlane player feels good about their impact in the game when their net worth looks like this.
Yeah, the only hero we can hope to kill is like A, but he's gonna need help to do that even.
Yeah,
Bad sign.
and I mean, Abaddon saves anybody on his team. He's going for the Halberd, so he's also itemizing against Medusa.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's going to be OG.Seed overextending for Liquid to be able to win fights here.
And the Medusa has got the rapier
Queued up. Yeah.
queued up. So we're going to be... We've not had many rapiers here at the Lootbet Dota 2 Summit. But this will be one, certainly, hopefully.
If they can make it to it, it could offer some high ground, choke point, defensive potential there with the rapier multi-shots. But they got to
Nice
get to that
Manta.
point first. Manta has mentioned, pullback, takedown. Adara unstoppable now as they swing it out within the arena pit. 2 Liquid members now fall. About to make it 3 is Insania going to get dropped on the backside. But here we go. Medusa popping out the stone gaze, popping out the shots, and slowly sidling herself back towards the base.
She stayed pretty long. Gets a lot of
And
mana
at
back.
this point, I don't know if she'll be able to make it back safely indoors. Both Koikfa and McKay seem to be in a bit of a struggle. It's a long takedown, but they get it done. And the Titan has been slain. Man, is this warrant possibly an early Tau throw-in from Liquid? I don't know.
Those 2 cores that just went godlike on the enemy team, one after the other. It was a 26-4 game. In their defense, they're only up by 6K. But that fight made things feel close to over.
This ain't 2012. You don't win with your net worth distribution looking like this.
Yeah.
All right. Sanya on the comeback, trying to move in from below. I don't know if it was to get some vision down or not, but he's been
feels bad.
spotted.
I made it away. Oh shit, the only way out is right envisioning it. It would have been better to just stay there. I think it's like, this is my new home. I'll just live here.
I don't see any reason why OG just should let up on the pressure at all at this point. They can start doing the old sharks in the water technique and keep Liquid indoors if they'd like, and just out-farm them.
Quarantine them.
Exactly.
The Spectre Manta. Oh, is he going to get him?
Oh, he's got him for sure.
Nice.
Oh, boy. There we go.
The Spectre Manta, like right as the Batrider went on him, so it bought that extra second for OG.Seed to just not even let the Batrider move once he got the lasso off. And I think if they don't get a good lasso on Team Liquid, you have to like lasso somebody in the Medusa ult, I think is really the only way they can fight. And against a bad Spectre, it's going to be hard to get a good lasso target. Nope. Zibe. Just knocking on the door saying hi. They have no threats to him doing this. Spectre's bottom, but has haunts soon, I believe.
Chasing 3 heroes away by
Get
himself.
away!
Harassment Dust coming in hot.
He's just that one
Courier
shark.
dies to the astral step of Chessie.
Straight up sheepdog right there. Just corral the sheep indoors. Well,
they think they have to go on Spectre.
They smoke and quickly roll out, though. Let's see if Liquid can do something to turn the tide.
The tide of the Liquid.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, they even scan from Radiant to see if the smoke's coming into the Spectre.
Okay, Paladin Sword for Medusa. Is that good?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's okay. I almost feel like a mana regen item's better than more lifesteal. That's not quite true because the numbers are heavier on lifesteal, but it's okay. But if she's out of mana, she's probably dead anyways, basically.
And we're going to have our first Roche of the game, right? Yeah.
First row.
Spectre, Abaddon, and Dude, Pango's just so good for Roche. I think that's the best part about the hero.
Yeah.
His disarm is OP.
And minus armor too helps.
Spectre's not a bad Rocher anymore now that Desolate works on Roche.
All right, Roche down. And the ball's in the court of OG.Seed. Let's see if they try to go get these lanes pushed back. Obviously, bottom has been pressured quite a bit now from Liquid. They can maintain order and try to breach for some high ground here. They might even
Straight line down
yeah,
mid.
let's not even acknowledge bottom lane. Let's just go for mid. allow them that much less time to even get ready.
Looks like they're ready to plant their seed in the base of Liquid.
I like what you did there to Brian with the seed. Very nice.
Manta to dodge the setup.
Oh, now they just need some of that fertilizer, right, Brian?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they
Soon
gonna
there'll be OG tree.
OG tree. I mean, the other G is pretty flower ready, right?
Yeah. Well, I suppose, yes, there'll be a flower team. So.
Snipe there of Taiga. He does not have a buyback, but, you know, he's been having a rough time, so his death timer's not even that long. He'll be back in about 25 seconds' time. And, you know, could be that lasso initiator to grab someone from the outskirts. But for now, you know, it's OG.Seed know they got time. They got time. They got a couple minutes still with this Aegis.
Going Octarine Core on Void Spirit. That's a nice item, meaning that if you have the luxury to be able to build that, that feels good.
Are they going to be worried about the Medusa rapier? Or is
I
it
don't
not
think it
concerned?
matters anymore because they have the halberd on what's his name? Abaddon. And Abaddon basically can't die anyways, so the halberd, it lasts longer on rangers. I think it's like 4.5 seconds or something like that. Like, you can just put it on her at the right time. It just doesn't matter.
Can't she manta off the halberd?
No, you can't remove
Alright,
halberd.
okay.
You can't pop BKB, can't manta, can't do anything.
Alright, okay.
You can just believe.
Like, just wait.
Yeah.
AKA wait. Believe in time. To the high ground they go. Looking to go for one of the last blows if possible here. Attention now towards the base.
No rapier yet. Forced out the Medusa ult.
Good
Not looking
Shane's-
to
ooh,
go
good grab.
down.
He's healing though.
Nice use.
Oh, to the low ground. They'll be fine. Madara able to score that one. Takes down and finishes off the Batrider buyback now coming out from Insania. Boxy looking to drop down the arena. And here goes Koikfa looking to remnant into the action. Chessie also there. Forced back now. Ends up below. And that does leave Jabei inside to deal with the trouble. And that means the Abaddon will go down. Liquid's bending the buybacks here to hold strong if possible. Chessie looking to get back into it. He just hops in, hops out. Little Muhammad Ali right here. Gets back to the low ground. This time Liquid looking to chase, and they'll grab another one. Just the AA. It's, you know, not too detrimental to OG.Seed, but were they able to achieve as much as they'd liked with that push, forcing Liquid to spend?
That's the only way you can never have a fight won for Liquid is if you extend into them. So you got to be careful. Even though the net worth didn't change, they're still up by 10,000 net worth on OG. They didn't get any building damage
No.
really. And
Barely
Medusa's
kinda
gonna have a rapier, so that's the win condition for Liquid. You can't really kill Medusa in fights. They have so much counter initiation, so much like stun lockdown from Liquid that there's no way you can afford to focus her. So the minute that she's not ignorable anymore is the way Liquid can take a real fight.
Yeah, so Halberd her, pop ult, wipe out everyone else, and then leave the Medusa for last as a delicious little gumball.
Exactly. I
Fair
wouldn't have
enough.
said gumball, but that works too.
What would you have said?
Like
Like you've
sauteed
spent-
fish or something, you know, like
Sort of.
Nice sashimi.
I mean,
sashimi. Yeah,
Sashimi.
sashimi. There you go.
Thought it was gonna be like you like carefully unwrap some delicate chocolate thing and then finally snack it at the end. That's where I thought you were gonna go.
Me or him?
You.
Oh. Well, I'm trying to stick to the lore of the heroes.
How does
Someone who,
Gumball?
for someone who works with slacks, you should
How
understand.
does Gumball tie into lore?
Well, I'm saying that
The
the
fish.
sashimi
Oh,
like ties into,
sashimi
ties into the
ties
lore.
more.
His,
Oh, I
his
see.
gumball
My
was
bad.
completely off.
I
point
just
there.
I saw a ball and went
You're
with
right.
gumball.
You're right. You're right.
Gumballs
I
are
say.
sweet.
Uh-oh. Trouble.
Is he
For,
actually?
the
Wow, the blink is
I'll-
very nice.
I didn't think he was gonna get chain stomp.
Oh, they want more. They haunt, they chase, they catch, they kill.
I don't think Liquid's realized yet they can't leave their base.
And then top lane.
Madara?
Dara trying to siege on forward here with
The
with
haunted
that haunt.
Rubik.
This is a nice little setup.
Is that the rapier done? Is that why he's dying?
Ah,
Oh my
Ooh.
god!
okay.
Madara with
That's a-
850 gold.
Now Paladin
Right.
Sword is good when you
Two.
have hit for 600.
Is he? What's the 25 talents on Medusa now? They've mixed him up a bit.
1,000
so-
mana and split
the-
shot, use the modifier.
So if he gets the modifier talent, that's pretty sick.
oh, because then he could lifesteal for every hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that is really good.
But do you build around a tier 3?
But they have an AA, gentlemen. They have to hit the ice blast.
They do have the
I mean, the mana talent's really good too, but if you're Paladin Sword, if you have Paladin Sword and you buy like a rapier or like a Satanic or something as your other item, you'd be hitting for like 60% lifesteal and like 5 targets, or 4 targets, which is crazy.
The
That could
BKB
be
is
really
probably necessary, though, to be honest. Like, he needs to make himself unignorable, and we've said that the
Yeah.
way they're going to ignore him now is by halberding him, so he needs to BKB in Ultin before he gets halberded.
Okay.
It's halberds, the Yules, cold feats.
Even the
like-
disarm from Pango is super obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because you can only manta it off once, and you can just reapply it. Spider Legs Pango is really nice. You can ult your way over cliffs and stuff.
Oh, can you use the spider legs while you're in ball?
Yeah, you can.
That makes no law sense, but never mind.
They should
You've
like
never seen
spin or something.
Never you mind.
And there's that BKB queued up, yeah.
Wow, his net worth over Spectre is like massively higher all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why this rapier build's viable is because you can't just like buy 3 blade mails anymore and just kill the guy because you can just buy a BKB.
Yeah.
In the past, you'd see these gyros and stuff go rapier and then they just get blade mail and die.
Liquid are getting more tentatively out of their base, feeling a little more confident.
He's still at the 5-man though.
Still after 5-man. They're like a shy boy going to college for the first time, finally getting out their shell.
Yeah. Well, Medusa's there, and she's got a big 6-pack right now. She's
Yes,
like,
it's
I can
true.
hang.
But it's really confidence that matters. It's not.
For sure.
Ooh, he heals himself accidentally?
I can't tell what the hell's going on here.
It's just absolute chaos within the arena.
Someone's dying. Who's that?
Lots of stone gaze
Medusa.
action
Medusa's
here.
dead.
The rapier's on the
Everyone.
ground.
And it's going to get sniped up. Is it? Who grabbed it? It's picked up
Chessie's
by
got it.
Chessie. Oh, no. I don't think that is what you want. And that's a double kill for Jibbe. And that's it.
GG.
And, well, they dropped the 6-pack on the way to the party there and suddenly realized they have to go back home because they got
were
nothing to offer.
Swelling with confidence, and someone bullied them, and they had to go home
They
crying.
walked to college and then got wedgied and shoved into the toilet.
They
And
just
that
didn't
was
go
it.
to their classes, and their parents found out 6 months later, and they dropped out.
Oh no!
Man.
I mean, gotta give respect. It felt like with the where the game was going and the conditions, you had Spectre and the Void Spirit really starting to get out of control. A Rapier felt like one of the only answers they could go for.
It was an option, yeah, but in that last fight, it was really clear the Medusa needed BKB because, I mean, there was tons of stuff going on. That means everybody's taking damage, everyone's taking magic damage, and at the end of it, it's like she's out of mana, she's low HP, and she has no solutions. If she's BKB'd there, she's attacking constantly, and it's going to look very different.
All right. Well, we'll be able to break down this game a little bit more in just a moment. We'll throw to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about it.
Welcome back to the LootBet Dota 2 Summit. I'm here with some very good friends who are going to talk through this game. Guys, that's the first Rapier of the day. Didn't end well for Team Liquid. Any thoughts following the break?
Oh, man, it was cool to see the Rapier, but, there was a lot of bad things that happened in the 15 minutes before it, so I feel like we didn't even get to see the Rapier, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, laning phase, I didn't feel like it really got out of hand for really one side or the other. But what would you guys say was like really the tipping point, if there was one in the laning phase that kind of got things, going in the wrong direction? Certainly for Liquid, because it felt pretty neck and neck early with the spirits. And then suddenly I see Chessie string together a dominating streak, and he just after picking up the Yules.
Yeah, the Yules was the important thing. So I think the crucial thing was that they tri-laned against the Mars to give not only Spectre complete free farm, zero pressure against an expected tough lane of the Batrider, but so they basically made Batrider's game weaker instead of giving him a good lane. Mars got very little, almost no farm, and died multiple times. And then in the mid-game, Spectre participated in a couple of ganks, so everything was going okay. And then once Chessie hits that Yules, all of a sudden, all of their gank setups are easy. Yules into Aether Remnant or whatever the heck it is, and then with a follow-up or Z-Freak is there. Z-Freak did a great job roaming early game. It felt like he was really effective, even though he was only level 2, level 3. It's like he shows his face, people run to juke, and he swashbuckles behind them. Then they have to get past him to get in trees to gank or to juke. So it's like everybody did their job really effectively, but mostly the laning, I think, was a big deal.
And at the same time, it felt like all of their eggs were in that Medusa basket, and as you say, you can just avoid the Medusa.
Yeah.
There's no need to engage with it at all. There's no way a Medusa can force you to fight. So all the momentum was with OG.Seed, who could control the game.
That's true.
When I see Alchemist Medusa heroes, I always concern myself with not the net worth of those heroes, but with the other 4. That's what I always look at. Pretty much any good team will give Medusa or Alchemist farm. like they're going to get farm.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of teams have gotten really good at just ignoring them and just crushing the rest of their team because those heroes don't help the rest of their team do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so while this Medusa's getting huge, Ember Spirit's busy contesting all the time, so he's not getting any farm. And eventually he got the Yules comboed once, then he dies, and suddenly his momentum's gone on the map. Because Mars had such a rough lane, Batrider, instead of taking a lane, has to like take aggressive jungle farm, and instead he's dying. So by shutting down the Mars, you basically made him and Batrider a complete non-factor, and then you have to make so much space with an Ember, and you're effectively fighting all of OG.Seed because you have a Spectre who can show up to all the fights.
Yep.
And I just like the way they game planned around this Medusa. Even though it was a 8th pick, they just said, we're going to outmaneuver you on the map. And the Void Spirit AA setup in the first round means that they have playmaking potential no matter what they pick with their last few heroes. And that was really cool to see as well.
Yeah. So it goes two ways. Not just like ignore the Medusa in the fights. It's get through the laning phase, and then if you're able to have a core who can kind of participate in the fights along with the team, your team as a collective will just kind of outsource anything the Medusa is able to accumulate. Plus, you're taking down Medusa's support staff around her. So is it as simple as just like, what if they didn't have the Spectre? What if they decided to go with the Slark in that game, let's say? Do you think it would have been very different? Because Slark can't participate in the fights as easily as Spectre.
I agree. I think Slark would just participate differently. I think he would participate more frequently, but with slightly less impact every time he participated. So it just boils down to how they wanted to play the map, and Slark would have to play with the team, while Spectre doesn't. So by having Spectre play alone all game, it really enabled them to get much more out of the map, and I think that for them as a team seemed like clearly the better pick. And I love seeing heroes that I would have never picked and being like, what were they going for with this one? And it clearly showed.
And it comes into fruition.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love.
Whereas if they, let's say they lost, you could have been like, well, that was a bad pick the whole time, and I would have gone for Slark surely, and we just don't know.
Yeah, and in this case, I get to act all humble, and I learned. In the other case, I get to act like a cocky know-it-all. So works out for everyone in the end.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Any final thoughts before we move on?
No, I'm excited. I want to see Game 2 now.
I think these are two great teams, and they're going to go very far. And we're going to head to a break, but before I do that, I'm going to shout out the wonderful merch that Beyond the Summit are offering.
Oh, yeah.
You can check out our exclusive new Loot Bet Dota Summit 12 exclusive designs and all official Beyond the Summit merch at bts.gg/shop. And there's some brilliant merch up there. Which one is your favorite, Purge? I think this is the first time you've seen them.
I like the simple ones, like the BTS or the Dota ones.
Yeah.
Or maybe the logo. I like the logo.
We
as well.
hired a designer. It was like 6 figures to come up with that design.
Yeah, that's what I figured
And
out.
that's what kids like today.
I like
Simplicity.
Text
big
on the
words.
shirt.
Big words. Dotes.
If you ever need somebody else to design for you for that price, hit me up, because
Alright,
I
sure
can definitely
enough.
write some words on a shirt for you.
Yeah, you can write one word.
You can type? Oh, incredible.
It sometimes feels like, you can get away with not being too creative with stuff like that at times. Like sometimes it just hits in the trend. You could just write big letters and that's it. And then as someone who's like, a creative, you're just kind of like, how hard do I have to try these days? Am I trying too hard?
Yeah.
It makes you question things. But I think it's fire. And with that, I think we should head to break.
Had to break.
Bye.